So as you can see, we're back on the plane again. Our second home. We are now making our way to New York City for a night. Flying with JetBlue, hence the whole blue being the whole scenery. I actually like JetBlue. Jackie still prefers Delta. She's in the zone at the moment. But say hi to the vlog. Oh god. What's that you're looking at? What is that? I can't see it properly.
They'll be able to read it.
Okay, cool. She's up to no good. She loves Twitter. But yes, we are now about to fall asleep. It's what's the time? Nearly 1 year. So we caught a very late flight at Red Eye. So we have arrived in our room and we need to give you a little tour. And we've settled in, so the place is a bit of a mess. And I was taking some photos of the hotel. Now I'm trying to build up my real estate portfolio of pictures. So I was taking pictures of the bathroom, lounge area. Hence why you can see the camera set up here. But I really like the color of this hotel. Nice and spacious. Bathtub, shower. No privacy though. Nosy people. I always notice in New York though, always in hotels, most hotels, you're always close to other buildings and other windows, so make sure you have the blinds down if you want privacy. Toilet there, our 2 sinks. Really like the green that they use, you have the mint green, if that's what you call it. More than enough wardrobe space. There's space on that side, wardrobe space here. Nice big mirror for Jackie, she's getting ready. She's getting some work done at the moment. She's chilled. Emily Blair's having a break, she's tired. She needs a break. She got Pat a really cool gift. It's Pat McGrath's birthday today and we're in New York because we're celebrating her launch of some new foundations. Is that correct, babes? New foundation, right? Do you know how many foundations she's launched?
I think it's 36.
Damn. We're really tired. We literally done red eye last night and we got in and oh my god, we had a mad, crazy incident with our driver. Do you want to tell them the story, babes? Do you want to tell them? You're too tired? Okay, maybe when she gets better, she'll tell you the story about our crazy driver. But anyway, we'll speak to you on the other side. Wow.
This is terrible.
This is New York weather.
It just looks like a blizzard.
Literally, we had yesterday. We had sun, beautiful sun.
We had a mini summer.
It was as hot as LA yesterday, and now we're leaving, which is probably a good time to be leaving. And it's insane. It's so cloudy, it's raining, everything. But we had a good time in New York for a day. The reason why we didn't vlog a lot. You want to tell them why we didn't vlog?
We were spending the evening with Pat for her birthday, so.
Yeah.
That was kind of nice.
Yeah, it was very intimate.
She just wanted to chill,
Yeah.
have dinner.
Yeah, it was just nice.
Kiki and laugh with herself.
Yeah, and not everyday camera. So it was just nice to be. Like, honestly, we regard Pat and her team, not even team, as friends now. Like,
exactly. They're family. They come into the wedding and everything.
Yeah. They're like proper family to us. So like we just come whenever. And they'll be like, yeah, come over. We're like, yeah, we're coming. Even though we literally came back from Arizona.
If we don't have anything to do, we're like,
yeah,
right,
let's go.
Let's just go.
Yeah.
So
yeah, honestly, we got so much love for them and everything. We wish them every bit of success in all aspects of life.
Shout out to all the Geminis out there celebrating birthdays. I love Geminis.
Yeah. By the way, we're going to tell them our cab driver story later on.
Oh my God, we'll tell them when we get home.
Yeah, when we get home. I realize people love our sit downs when we tell them story time.
They do, because we be spilling tea, baby.
So we'll give you a story time when we get back to LA. So see you on the other side.
It is breakfast time and story time, girl. I got my peanut butter crunch. I was going through withdrawals because this cereal was recalled for like 6 months. And the struggle was real because I love me some peanut butter crunch. But anyway, she's back from outer space. And it's finally back. It's finally back. I can enjoy it. I can stock up. I can buy as many boxes as I want, which is amazing because it's like the only breakfast cereal I like. So we just got back from New York yesterday. We spent like 2 days with Pat, and usually when you go on a trip, the company will book like a car. They'll book a car from the airport, they'll book a car to your, you know, wherever you're staying to pick you up, to drop you off, blah, blah, instead of like sending an Uber. It's very rare someone will send an Uber, right? So, we got to New York, we landed in New York, and I got a text message from someone that said, hey, this is your greeter. When you are at baggage claim, let me know and I'll come find you. Pretty typical, pretty standard. It's usually, it's more often that someone will text you saying, hey, it's your driver, I'm here. They'll pick you up they'll meet you at baggage claim, and then they will walk you to their parked car and then take you to the next destination. That's pretty standard. Every so often you'll get like a greeter who will then hand you off to whoever's your actual driver. Like for example, if we're on a brand trip and we're with a large group of people, they'll have like a greeter just to basically dispatch each person to every single car. So there's not like 5-10 drivers having to get out the car to wait for each individual person. Does that make sense? Anyway, so since it was just us two, she takes us to the car, pretty standard. Like nothing that's happening is out of the ordinary. Nothing that is happening at this point is out of the ordinary whatsoever. We get our bags, she takes us to our driver, and we get in the car. Now, the driver has an SUV. He's dressed in like regular, I don't want to say civilian clothes, but he was just dressed regularly casual, you know. And I'll get into that later. So she drops us off in the car, and this is why you really have to be careful, you guys, because we get in the car, and mind you, we flew into JFK, so we're staying in the city. And on average, I'd say it takes us about an hour, sometimes an hour and a half to get to like into Manhattan, like wherever hotels we're staying at. And we had been driving for a while. We'd been driving for like an hour, getting through traffic. I don't really know the roads in New York, but like I know relatively, like, I know some directions, right? So next thing you know, about an hour into the drive, we pull up at a house. And like, we're in a random neighborhood, and he just stops the car and goes, doesn't say anything, and we're just like, okay. And he goes, hey, I hope you don't mind, I had to pick up my wife. When was you gonna say that? Like, at what point were you gonna ask? I mean, we have to mind now. You didn't give us the option to not mind. You didn't ask. Like, I get that people have stuff to do, but in today's climate, I'm not even trying to make a joke out of this, but literally people are getting chopped up in Ubers, okay? Trafficking is alive and real. I'm just like, so you didn't think to ask? So, instant turn off. I'm annoyed. Dennis is a little bit more reasonable in situations like this because he's a guy, and I think most guys just assume, oh, I can handle it. I'm just like, that's beside the point though. Like, no. Like he was just like, oh, you know, like, that's cool. Like, I don't mind. Man to man though, can you just give us a heads up next time? And in the background, I'm like, I mind. So, young lady hops in the car, turns around, like, looks, doesn't say anything, so it's awkward. And then I'm like, oh my God, what if this girl knows who we are? She's probably gonna think we're jerks. But boo-boo, I didn't sign up for Uber Pool, okay? So that's the real tea. So we start driving again. We're like, what can we do now? We're already in the car. She's already in the car. He's already done what he's gonna do. And mind you, this is at like 7 a.m. So no, I'm lying. We landed in New York at like 9. So it was early. You want to get to your hotel after a 5-6 hour flight, like relatively, you know, within the couple hours after you land, right? Because you're tired, you're jet lagged, and you're tired. We're talking about 3-hour time zone or time change here, right? So, you know, already tired. You just want to get to your hotel and lay down in a bed. After picking up his wife, we drive again. 20, 30 minutes, we stop again. At a restaurant. The wife gets out the car. Who, mind you, who's to say this is even his wife? That's the first question, okay? I don't know you people. Wife gets out the car. Goes inside the restaurant. Picks up their breakfast. Didn't offer. Didn't offer. So this is the second stop. I'm calling the team. Telling them what's going on. I'm texting them telling them what's going on. And I'm like, yo, like, here's the story. We just stopped twice. And she's just like livid. So usually when you book a car, you can't contact your driver directly. It's kind of like Uber. Like they'll either give you a masked number or you contact like the dispatch service. The dispatch service will contact the driver. So about 10, 15 minutes had gone by from when I told her about the incident to when she tried to contact the driver. And I kept, I'm telling them about the car thing. So she's texting me.
There's a light.
Yeah, no, it's fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
Yeah, there.
So like 10, 15 minutes later, she's like, hey, like, has anyone from the company been calling him? I was like, no, his phone hasn't rang. So whoever was trying to call him wasn't getting through. So I'm thinking like, is this even our driver? Like, what the hell's going on? So she calls me. So let me talk to him. And she's like asking him like, what's going on? And then he had attitude. He had attitude. First of all, you inconvenienced us. You were booked to do a job. When you're doing a job, you can't pick up all these little side things. You can't. Like, you cannot. That's our discretion to decide if it's okay. It's not okay, but some people are really flexible. Some people are really cool. And I'm pretty sure, like, if he would have been really super nice about it and asked, we probably would have been fine with it. But he didn't. He didn't ask. So,
and we went to some strange neighborhood. That could have, anything could have popped off.
That's what I'm saying. Like, given the fact that, like, ride sharing and like car services, like you're taking a risk every single time you get behind the wheel with someone. Every single time, even the people that you know, you're taking a risk. So you put our lives at risk not only once but twice. I know that sounds really dramatic, but you guys, this stuff is not funny. Like people are really getting like snatched up from cars and Ubers and Lyfts and all these ride like it's not safe. It's just not safe. So my senses and my sensitivity to the stuff as a woman is already heightened, let alone given the fact that like there's been some really, really sketchy things happening lately and trafficking is so rampant right now. Like I'm just like already on alert. I'm already paranoid. Dennis is trying to remain cool. I'm kind of like in the back, like I'm
I guess it's a guy's thing. If you feel uncomfortable, let's go. But I was willing for him to take us, drop us all the way. But I get it. Like, at the end of the day, you don't want to take any risk, and it's not worth it.
Based on principle, I was like, we're like 2 miles from the hotel. At this point, we were like a mile and a half, which in New York City, a mile and a half is actually like not that close. So we're like the last 20, 30 minutes on the ship to the hotel. I was like, just pick a road, a non-sketchy looking road, and just drop us off. I'd rather just call it Uber. And so I called the girl that booked the car and I was like, I'm not staying here. Like, we're getting off the car right now. And she's like, okay, it's fine. She's like apologizing like nonstop, as if it's her fault. Like, it's not your fault. It's his fault. So basically we were thinking that I thought it was some scammer, like sketchy. Because when you go to airports, I don't care if you are in Kuwait. I don't care if you are in Vegas. I don't care if you're in New York City. They love doing this in New York City. Whenever you land at any airport, if you see people walking around inside the airport or even like outside the airport saying taxi, 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 they are not authorized. They are not permitted taxi drivers, okay? They're not legal. So I'm guessing that guy was just one, like, I think it was just a random, like he randomly, I don't even know honestly like what that lady was thinking. The lady who greeted us at the airport did actually legitimately work from the company from what we found out. The guy that we got dropped off to did not. And even like little small details, like looking back, I was like, wait, it is kind of weird that he wasn't wearing a tux or a suit or anything. Most drivers usually wear like a tux. He was just in regular casual clothes, which, you know, it's hard to even say that's a red flag because we've had drivers dressed in normal regular clothes too. So there's that, but he just didn't. And also most driving services, they'll have things in the car, like they'll offer you a charger, they'll have like water, gum, snacks, magazines, like they'll actually have some, because literally their job is to drive people all day. So they want to make that drive as comfortable as possible. There was nothing in the car that indicated this was just his professional job. I mean, all he had was like an SUV, you know, so that was sketchy. So yeah, so we ended up calling the company and doing some investigating and we found out that the greeter lady did work for the company. The guy did not. And I just think it just so happens that she just took us to the wrong car. She dropped the ball. She took us to the wrong car. So I'm just like, oh, and another thing, what they do is whenever you book a car service, you normally pay up front, right then and there with your credit card or debit card or whatever. So what he was going to do, and this is usually what scammers do when they're not actual real drivers, is they will pick you up pretending to be your driver for the day. And then they will just get you to pay cash when you get there. And then if it's a car service that you've already booked, you're gonna be like, wait, we've already previously booked this. And then what they're gonna do to try to cover the tracks is say like, oh, the car didn't go through, or oh, I don't see it's authorized on mine, so you have to pay again. So it's just like, people are always trying it. So yeah, I mean, in this particular situation, I really don't know what we could have done to prevent it, because most car services are pretty on point, pretty diligent, pretty professional. And usually our driver will be waiting for us in the terminal with a placard holding my name, so it's not just some random person. But one thing that I will say is whenever you fly anywhere, if you see someone walking around saying, I'm a taxi, like, and they're not at their car, they're not a taxi driver, they're probably doing it illegally. And if something were to happen to you, even though they'd probably be cheap, actually they probably would charge you a whole lot of money too, but if something happened to you, there would be no way to find or track that person. So definitely don't do that. You know, whenever you travel anywhere, you should usually see like the little line where they have like the authorized taxis. And you know what? That's the reason why you have to have a permit for these things, because you're getting in someone's car, you're risking your life. Like, it's scary. With Ubers, I've also been super diligent. Like, I order an Uber, I go to the car, I check the plates first before I even get in the car. I check the plates, make sure it matches the description on my thing. I ask them who are they looking for, and I ask them where they're going. I don't tell them, are you looking for Jackie? No, I ask them who they're looking for and where they're going, because it's getting, my breakfast is here, hold on. You like how I just finished cereal and now I'm eating breakfast? It's a breakfast burrito. So anyways, I was just saying that, you know what, let's be real, even some of these food delivery services are sketchy. I'm no longer accepting food that isn't sealed. Okay, so I'm only gonna order from certain restaurants that seal and tape up or tie up their food in a bag where I know it's not tampered with, damaged, spat on. Like, just, it's just stressful. We don't use Postmates that much anymore. We only use it like maybe a couple times a week, which is not that much considering we went from using it every day. But when I tell you, this driving thing could have really gone horribly wrong, and I'm so grateful that it didn't. But I was I was a lot annoyed, because I'm just like, first of all, how dare you? Like, you just thought you were just gonna take us on a joyride and we were gonna be cool with it and you were gonna get away with it, and then when you were called out on it, you had the nerve to get an attitude. Like, and Dennis was really super polite, like, about confronting him about it. Like, I was the one that was like more visibly annoyed. Like, you can't be doing this. Like, what are you doing? But Dennis was like, yeah, it would have been cool if you just asked us or whatever. I think it was also because he was a man. Like, I'm just not willing to put my own needs before. I'm not willing to put a man's needs before my own, not a man that I don't know. So I was just like even more annoyed. If it was a woman, however, and maybe she felt, well, even shoot, I don't know, man. What am I even trying to say? Because shoot, she could have did something dangerous too. Anyway, maybe if it was like late at night and she had like a chaperone with her, I don't know. I would have been like, oh sis, you're good, you know. Moral of the story is be super careful. Don't ever underestimate people's, oh, it's fine. No, the hell it ain't. No, the hell it ain't. If you're uncomfortable, speak up. If you want to cancel a ride, cancel it. If something's fishy, leave. Somebody told me, I think I saw a post that said, always sit behind the driver so that like if he puts the child lock on, you can reach around and unlock it yourself or something like that. There's definitely a lot of like tips and red flags that people have posted about Ubers and car services, but honestly, I just, it's so loud. It's just, you guys, it's just really scary. Just be careful, be diligent, don't ignore red flags, and don't be afraid to speak up. I sure as hell was not afraid to speak up in that situation. I was just like, what are you doing? Like, why are we here? You thought this was okay? And Dennis was like, oh, bro, man to man is cool, bro. I was like, no, it's not cool. I'm a young lady. I operate a little differently. And my sense, I can't be relaxed the same way men can be. I can't. I'm a lady, and then I'm a petite lady at that. So if somebody wanted to bust one, I would be the vulnerable one. We're good. It worked out. We did report the incident to the company that we booked the car to. And yeah, just be careful, y'all.